Hello everybody, Manithral here, and welcome to a weekly update video for OSRS. Now this week we have Varlamore tweaks and drop rates. But up first we have the Varlamore updates with the changelog here. So up first, the Coliseum, the ranged warbanders have been given a little buff, so their range level more accurately reflects the rest of their stats. So watch out, this means they will be hitting a bit harder now. They reduced the warband's melee and max hit to give you a little bit more of a fighting chance to keep up against them. Those taking on the Coliseum will now receive a correct number of glory for stacked modifiers. They upped the Coliseum security, so you'll no longer find NPCs wandering the arena if they aren't supposed to be there. All of the Fortress Coliseum NPCs now have their full HP, or full and correct attack style information when using Monster Examine. You can now trade the Xana's Quiver for a total of 4,000 Sunfire Splinters by talking to Minimus. They have also slightly reduced the number of Sunfire Splinters obtained in Wave 1 and increased the number gathered from waves 9 through 12, so you'll receive 20% less splinters on your first wave. If you make it through those later rounds, you'll see a lot more, so it's a bit more balanced. Perilous Moons, they've taken a look at the Eclipse boss and how much damage he's taken when at low HP, so you should no longer hit so many ones. Sulfur Nagua's special attack will no longer bump them out of combat, which removes a window of opportunity for other pesky enemies getting a turn-in when they shouldn't. When fighting moon bosses, the Ring of Recoil now correctly loses charges. Sipping tea from camps in the ruins will no longer be delayed during the Perilous Moons. They removed the force camera movement when traversing Perilous Moons to make the journey more comfortable. To make it easier to escape Perilous Moons bosses, they made it a quick escape the default option for the stairs. To reflect the lore around the Perilous Moons dungeon being newly discovered, you'll no longer find the diary entries detailing the dungeon's positions or potions during the quest, only when you revisit the area. It is now consistently possible to kill Eclipse Moon during the clone phase, even single-hitting weapons. They also made it easier to tell when you've succeeded with the fishing minigame during Napulsi dungeon. So now when you have your net in the right place, you're guaranteed 1 fish. When you have it in the right place and succeed a roll, you'll receive 2 fish plus XP. You can now use a stab attack style with the dual Maku Hatul General. You can now cover all your falconry fun with one-time fee, and it's easier than ever. They added the ability to right-click pay option on Matthias. Master Hunters can relax. They fix a bug preventing you from using the 100 Gil teleport on your skill and max capes when you had used all your Chinchampa teleports. The Huntsman kit will now correctly let you store all your hunter items. However, the black Chinchampas will wriggle free and won't be stored in your kit. So basically, it will store your hunter items, but not the black Chinchampas. They've tweaked the Hunter's Rumors work, so you'll get a little less dry on the drops for so many of the rumor creatures. A bug has been fixed, which means you will now be able to use the meat stack for hunter activities. They upped the Irit Tar range strength to plus 60, so you have a little bit more bang for your buck. The Moonlight Potion now has the correct description, factoring in its boost to attack and strength alongside defense. For those undertaking the Ripening Tail, you can no longer escape during a certain villainous frog's wrath by walking away. The Furious Frog will now continue to be aggro when you come back in range. Worms are back on the menu, so they are showing in the Slayer log. The Stomping Oasis no longer stops you from taking the axe if you are carrying a combat axe. The Civitas Illis Fortis teleport in the Portal Nexus interface now has the correct icon. The Quetzals in the Fortis have been reshuffled, so you'll now find it more commonly to use the bird closer to a teleport. They increased the maximum capacity of the portal nexus, so now it contains all teleports at once again. An issue has been fixed with the Echo Boots. We're losing charges in PvP scenarios. The mixed hide costume set can now be stored in the player and house costume room. Group Ironmen will now be able to correctly share their hunter mixes and butterflies with their group. They introduced the clue scroll requirement to mean you only need one piece of the Sunfire armor to complete it. Your Sunfire runes will give you even more XP as they have doubled the rates. The Sapphire Glacialess butterflies will now correctly boost defense when they are released. Other changes are they fixed a bug which occurred following the addition of Varlamore that caused the Fang to roll incorrect accuracy during TOA. If a player is prevented from chopping the mahogany and teak trees in Mercalli's hardwood grove due to having not helped them out in the village enough, Mercalli will now warn them of this before trying to take on their sticks from them entirely. The dark chest for the Isle of Souls no longer claims that you must have received a medium clue scroll every time you loot them. Equipping the light bearer shortly before you special attack energy was due to restore will no longer delay the energy restoration. The werewolf who receives the stick and the underground agility course no longer wanders around so much. If you need to get replacement railings for Logoth during the Dwarf Cannon quest, he will now give you as many replacements as you still need rather than just one. And PvP Rhoda has moved to period A, so 539 US, PvP 318 UK, Bounty Hunter 548 Germany, high risk PvP 577 US, free to play PvP 559 UK LMS competitive, and World 390 AUS LMS competitive, and World 569 AUS for Bounty Hunter has been activated with this Rhoda. The PvP arena is using the 1 defense pure loadouts for ranked goals and tournaments this week. So we were mentioning about the Perilous Moons and Coliseum drop rates. So there's not a whole lot, so we will be going over these. Because I don't want to make this, kind of ramble on too long here. But defeating the Moon Peril boss grants you a 1 in 56 chance to secure a random item from their exclusive drop table. So this includes the Blood Moon Peril. You got 1 in 56 chance after defeating the Blood Moon boss. So as you can see, the Blue Moon Apparel, 1 in 56 with the Blue Moon. Eclipse Moon Apparel, 1 in 56 chance with the Eclipse Moon. So each one of their items, and that includes like the Blood Moon pieces, the Blood Moon pieces, and the dual Macihultal, whatever you want to call it, that is with the Blood Moon. The Blue Moon has the Blue Moon pieces plus the Blue Moon spear. The Eclipse Moon has the Eclipse Moon pieces and the Eclipse ladle. So furthermore, upon defeating all of the 3 of these bosses in one run, you'll be given an additional 1 in 56 chance at any item. So once you defeat all 3 of the bosses in one run, you get a 1 in 14 chance. So that is actually pretty good, and it's actually slightly better than average compared to the Barus. So something to kind of keep in mind if you are really big into this. But then you also have the Fortress Coliseum drop rates. So chance for a unique rolled at the end of each wave. So wave 6 is 1 in 108, 7 is 1 in 92, 8 is 1 in 76, 9 is 1 in 60, 10 is 1 in 44, 11 is 1 in 28. And the unique drop table, it consists of the Echo Crystal, which is 6 in 10. Sunfire Fanatic Armor Piece is a 3 out of 10. And Tonal Sticks Ralos is 1 in 10. So the rolling of the Echo Crystal will also have a 1 in 10 chance of receiving either 2 or 3 crystals instead. And the Sunfire Fanatic, obtaining these will favor pieces you haven't already received, so otherwise it is random, so keep that in mind. There is some other rare items such as the Small Heretic, which is a 1 in 200, and Designe's Quiver, which doesn't exactly say here, but the small Herdit. The pet can only be rolled on completion of wave 11, and its odds are not affected by other factors. And the Designe's, you can also gamble the quivers for a 1 in 200 chance to receive a small Hardot by talking to Minimus. So these are something to kind of keep in mind when you're thinking about that kind of stuff. Otherwise, that is actually it though for this week, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, later, guys.